So, ladies and gentlemen, family. It's now my great personal honor to introduce to you a woman who, since she was a teenager, 16 years old, has committed herself fully to the work of freedom for all of us. Tarana, I have loved you and known you for 2 decades, longer than my own daughter has been alive. I've watched you grow, and I've watched you give, and I've watched you be one of the many who has labored, often without being acknowledged in this room tonight. We acknowledge you, Tarana Burke. We acknowledge you. We will wipe away the idea that Black women's labor will go disacknowledged. That is not what we are here to do. We are here to say that we see you. And some of us have always seen you, Tarana, and we always knew, some of us, that each day that the good Lord was willing and the creek ain't rise. Come on. You would be there loving us. You would be there choosing us, choosing the hard edges of our pain and the way sometimes that pain shows up. And because you always chose us, on behalf of the National Cares Mentoring Movement, and on behalf of every survivor and everyone who's ever loved a survivor within reach of my voice, in Tarana Burke, my sister, on behalf of me too, we choose you. We choose you again and again and again. Please come up and accept the 2018 North Star Award.
The makeup artist asked me earlier if I thought I was gonna cry, and I was like, no, I'll be all right. Don't get this snot on there. Oh, sorry. Thank you, both of y'all. I've known both of y'all for so long, and it's just, thank you. I can't even, I'm gonna stop looking at you because you're gonna make me cry. Wow, I love Black people. I don't know if I have words really needed to express how deeply honored I am with folks who I admire, like Cicely Tyson, and one of my heroes, Reverend Barber, who I in fact met for the first time in Selma, I don't know how many years ago, with one of my mentors, Fire Rose Touré. Yes, I wouldn't be here without her. There's been a lot of talk about me not receiving recognition I deserve for founding Me Too. But I have to tell you, and my friends in the room can attest to this, and I got a bunch of friends back there. Hi. Akiba, Kierna, Demetria. Anyway, my friends can tell you nothing means more to me than being recognized by my folks. I love everything about being Black. And it's that love that let me start doing this work. It's what led me to do the work. But while I have you, I have to say this. It is wonderful to be celebrated, but we can't get caught up in the celebration of me as an individual if we aren't gonna interrogate why I was led to do this work in the first place. I'm an organizer first, and I believe wholeheartedly in the power of our collective movement. We have to have an honest conversation, Black folks, about what is happening in our communities. Sexual violence is rampant, and we have to break this culture of silence so that we can do the work of interrupting it wherever it lives. It is estimated that 22% of Black women will experience sexual assault in their lifetime. That's 22%, that's a huge number. And it's not that many of us. But here's another one you may not know. If a Black woman is sexually assaulted before she's 18, she is 66% more likely to be sexually assaulted again as an adult. We need to sit with those numbers. We need to sit with that reality. And it's not just women. I so appreciate those brothers standing up, these young brothers standing up and making that pledge, but we have to pledge to protect our boys as much as our girls. 1 in 6 boys will be sexually assaulted before 18, and it's a disproportionate number of black boys who fit into that number. But we can change this. The work of the Me Too movement is not about Hollywood. It's not about taking down powerful men, and it's not about hating men. I love brothers. Just in case y'all didn't know. Let me tell you, it's very hard to date when you represent something like Me Too. All the brothers is like, sister, I just wanna. Y'all don't gotta be scared, just be respectful. Sorry. My bad. But it's not about hating men. It's about supporting survivors of sexual violence and providing resources to those who have the least access to the tools for healing. This is a movement about healing. This is a movement about giving the people who have been holding the trauma in the pit of their stomach for most of their lives a space to release that and to heal. All of this work that we have to do to cure our community, we can't do that if we are holding on to this trauma. We have to heal. And that's what this work is about. It's about interrupting sexual violence wherever it exists. So thank you. Thank you to my mother, who I watched mentor and care for so many folks throughout my life. Hey, Mommy. Thank you to my daughter, who gives me endless inspiration. Baby. And thank you to Susan Taylor for creating this mentoring movement. I hope that this movement will mentor our movement, because there's so many things, so many places we have intersections, so much that we can learn from what you've done. And thank you all. Oh, first of all, let me back up. Thank you, black women. I need to just say thank you to the sisters really quickly, because if it wasn't for black women, y'all wouldn't even know who I was. When this thing broke, it was black women who said, full stop, we're not having this. People who knew my work and people who didn't know my work said, we're not gonna let your work be erased. We're not gonna let this thing happen again. And they kept saying my name, and they kept saying my name, and kept saying my name until it was in the mainstream. And so thank you, black women. Thank you all for loving on me and holding me in the light and in your prayers. This is our movement, and I need all of you to help move it forward. Thank you.